Okay, so here's a shower I put in a few years ago. Did all the work myself, and the issue that I have is I must not have caulked well enough around the drywall. Like I said, I did this myself. I'm not an expert at any means, but I kept the drywall off the actual lip here, and then I had this filled in with joint compound, and I put a big bead of caulk over this. This wall was fine, this wall was fine, but this one here was the one that it wicked up, and it got worse. It was up to here, so I got to do something with it. So I cleaned it out, and what I'm going to use is that it's like a plastic panel. I'm just going to fit this in. I got some reference marks here, but that plastic panel then is just going to fill this whole area in. It's three different sheets, and then I'll just caulk all the seams all the way around, up and down the front. So hopefully that works. I don't want to waste the time finishing this drywall because it wasn't the best job to start with, and it just doesn't work in here. So I'm going to grab one of those sheets and show you. So here's one of the panels, and I might have to do a little bit more fitting on it, but it fits up pretty tight. Like I said, once you get this in, you could run a bead of caulk at the top here and down the joint the tool meet, and then across the front here. Okay, actually there's a little bit of a lip here, so that'll actually work out pretty well, and I think that'll be better. Because this shower was put in as kind of a afterthought, because this was only a half bath, the way this is set up, so this used to be the bathroom wall that would come all the way through. This actually goes out into the garage, so the garage ceiling height is actually this, so I couldn't go any higher, so that's why this area here is so short between the showers. So when I shut the door here, you'll see like not a very big opening at all. So, and even where the shower head comes out there, that's pretty close to the ceiling. There's not a whole heck of a lot of room here. So that's just the way it worked. So yeah, probably should have did that instead of drywalling that. I should have used that plastic board, but it should work. I got to pick up the adhesive, which is comes in a pail, and you put it on with like a trowel. I think it's an 1/8 inch V groove trowel or whatever, and then you fit it in. So I don't know much more about it than that until I pick it up and read the directions. So it's coming along. We'll get it put back together, and then it should be back to business with this. Alright, so we got the panel stuff here. I got the panel laid out. I just cleaned it, and I got it. This is going to be the side that goes against the wall. I got my trowel here. So what I'm going to do is take some of this fast grip FRP adhesive, and then that's going to be trolled out on this part of the panel, and then that's going to get stuck to the wall. Okay, so here's the panel. It says to troll it out, and then to immediately place to the wall. So that's what I'm going to do here. No, probably not going to be able to see anything. This does not look easy. This also looks like it's going to be a giant mess here. Alright. Here. So. Okay, so we probably saw nothing, but first impressions, it's sticking pretty well. I got a roller that I'm going to use to roll this out because this lip here needs to go down a lot. I mean, a lot of adhesive behind there to flatten this out. So I got stuff all over the panel here, so I'm going to squeeze that out and I'll show you after I got it that far. And with like most projects I do, I'm less than impressed. I've dry fit this panel numerous times. Oh wow, yeah. I can feel it still working out in there yet. Oh boy, feels really lumpy. I don't know what the deal is. And this is really frustrating that this is actually sitting the same distance here. It's like flush, and here it's not. It's sitting on the lip. It should have been sitting on the lip. I don't know why it's not. And I tried pressing this down. I've got a roller that I've been rolling it, and I cannot get it to lay flat. So that's cool. I don't know how much you should roll this, because I think eventually I'm just going to roll out all the adhesive to the corners. At least there's a whole bunch right there. The top are just squeezed out. That's cool. But yeah, if it's doing that, it means it's not sitting flat. I don't know why I can't. Boy, this panel is really not very flat. I don't know if I put too much stuff on it. It said 1/4 inch trowel. That's what I used. I don't know, this here is odd. I can't get that figured out. So I'm just going to keep plugging away here. Alright, so I'm feeling a little bit better about this second panel here. I don't know, I did basically the same thing. I did stir up that adhesive a little bit. It really didn't change the consistency. It's still pretty light. Let's see if I push here around this too. I don't know how much you're supposed to push on this. I'm sure you gotta push some to get it to set, but I mean, I don't want to take that roller and squeeze out all of the adhesive either so it doesn't stick. But it seems like it's pretty smooth. It's about what I want. I can caulk up in here then. I can caulk down the seam, caulk across the front here. And this one did a better job. This is actually sitting on the lip on the top here. So that's good. It worked out well. I just got this last one here you gotta throw in. So, and this one looks pretty good. This one feels pretty good, I guess. I think the stuff's supposed to dry in like 20 minutes. So I got a little bit up in there I should grab yet. Get that cleaned up so I got a good place to caulk. Alright, so I got all 3 panels in. I think it turned out alright. Gotta let it dry. It says you're supposed to let it go like 24 hours before you caulk it. So I'm gonna do that. This one's still wet from me wiping some of the stuff off. So that's how it looks. Turned out pretty well. I don't know if I would have needed that roller or not, but it seems like it works alright. They seem like they're sticking. They're nice and smooth, which will be good for cleanup. So, and I'll be able to get some really nice caulk beads right where I need to get them, which is good. Should keep the water out. So, well, we'll see how it turns out. Tomorrow I'll finish this project. Alright, so I'm going to say this is almost finished. I'm not real impressed with my caulking. It's alright, it should do the job. I might have to hit it a few more times yet. Some of it turned out nicer than the rest, but it should serve the purpose. So there it is. That's what it looks like.